Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have seen the operation of zero order hold and then we derived its transfer function. In today's class, we will see the first order hold. The first order hold is approximated, the output y of t is approximated with the first order approximation. So let us see its operation. For the first order hold, the output y of t during the interval kt to k plus 1t is approximated as y of k plus or y of you can say kt plus tau is given by a1 tau plus a0. And in the zero order hold we have seen where a0 was equal to x of kt. So what I get here is y of kt plus tau is equal to a1 tau plus x of kt. So in practice we don't have y of kt plus tau. Now we have to compute a1 to approximate or to realize this expression. So that can be done by having the samples available or relating the samples available. So what I will do here, I will take for tau is equal to minus t. So the backward sample which is available. So here I get y of kt minus t is equal to minus a1t plus x of kt, and that is also equal to x of kt minus t, because at the integer samples y and x are equal. So what I can write here is minus a1t plus x of kt is equal to x of k minus 1t. Just t is taken common, we get this expression. And from this what I get, I will take this term this way and this term on the LHS. I get a1t equal to x of kt minus x of k minus 1t, and both are available. X of kt is also available because it is the current sample, and x of k minus 1t is also available because it is the previous sample. And from this what I get, so the value of a1 can be obtained as difference between the two samples divided by the time distance between them, which is nothing but the slope. So I have the backward slope, and now with having the extrapolation, I will extend the same slope till next sample with that approximation, a piecewise linear approximation, and I will get the y of kt plus tau for any tau between 0 and t. And this will move towards t. When it reaches to t, I have the next sample. So I will go back to the next sample. Again, I will get the previous slope. I will move forward, get the till approximation till the next sample this way. So using this now what I get, so first order hold is approximated as and put this value here, y of kt plus tau is equal to x of kt minus x of k minus 1 t divided by t, this is a1 into tau plus x of kt. So this slope will be multiplied with the time, so it is the linear approximation plus the previous value. Now what I will do, I will consider one signal x of kt, and for that I will get the output y of kt. So let the samples are at this value, the next sample is say here, then next let me take here, and last one as again say here, and it is continued, but we will consider only this much samples. And now this is the input to the first order hold. We will now sketch the output. It's t and y of t, and let us presume that say previous value is also available, and say it is at say 0 for example. So this value come here, then I have the value, just I will put the values at the appropriate instance. These are the values I will get in future, because these are the values, but at present I am here. So what I have only these two samples. So this is the backward slope which will be continued till the next sample comes, that is here, and at next sample now we are here, it is available, so this will be joined, so it will move like this. This is the approximation, this will be the approximation, but now I have got the slope. For the next sample this is the slope, so from here I will move with this slope till this sample, and at this sample now this sample is available. So what I am doing, I am approximating the output between the samples. I know this sample is here, this sample is here, but how it will go, and this sample was not available when I was here, but when I reach here, and now I have got this sample, so wherever I am, from that I have to move to this sample. And now while moving from this to this, I have this slope, previous and present, and I will move with the same slope, and then here, then for next sample I have this slope, so I will move with this slope till the next sample comes. So this is how we will get the signal. So the signal, reconstructed signal, will be like this. So this elaborates the operation, how it works. And now let us move to its transfer function. Let us find out its transfer function. Transfer function of first order hold device. Now recall back the previous lecture. In that we obtained the transfer function for zero order hold. In case of zero order hold, we obtained it by three different approaches. In the first two approaches, we used the impulse response which was available with us. Now here the impulse response is not available. That is why we have to go by the third approach. That is, consider a signal as input, known signal at input. Then by using its equation, find out the output signal y of t. Then from that y of t, obtain Laplace of that signal, that is y of s. Then for the known input signal, obtain x star s, and then gh1s is y of s by x star s. Let us do it. So let us consider, let x of kt is u of kt, same signal. So what we have now is k, and this is x of kt, and x of kt is the unit step signal, discrete time unit step signal. So it is 1, it will be continuing. And now we have to generate the signal output signal y of t for this. So output of first order hold, when input is this one, x of kt. And now here what we need to do is, for backward interpolation we must know the previous value also. And now it is u of kt. U of kt is what? It is 1 for kt greater than equal to 0, and it is 0 otherwise. So the previous samples are 0. So here we have a 0 signal. Then here 1. Then next 1. Next 1. Next 1. And now the slope will proceed with the same process. This is the slope. We will continue with the same slope till the next sample comes. So now we have come across the next sample, this one. Now, so it will be like this. Now, this is the actual slope. So for the next sample, this is the slope. So we'll move with this slope. And exactly we are reaching the point. So again the same will be the slope, so same will be continued. So this is the output signal. Now we have to generate the output expression for this. So what is y of t? It is equal to, for this particular period, it's 1 plus t by tau. There is one, this is a unity slope, because from 0 to 1 we are moving within one sampling instant. So slope is t by 1 by tau. So the signal will be 1 plus t by tau or t by t. So here I will mark it 0, t, 2t, 3t, and same thing here also. 0, this is minus t, t, 2t and 3t. So this is the definition for 0 to t, which, and thereafter it is equal to 1. For what? For this is less than, for t greater than equal to t. And now if I want to fit this as a function of unit step, then it will be, you can do this exercise and you will get the expression as, so y of t equal to 1 plus t by t into u of t minus t minus t by t into u of t minus t minus u of t minus t. So if you realize this by different signal and add them, you will get the same expression. I have got it at the back end and this expression came. So this is what y of t. Next is we have to find out y of s. So y of s is the Laplace of this. Everything is multiplied. So this is u of t. So u of t has Laplace 1 by s. So it will be 1 by s plus t by t into u of t. So this 1 by t is a constant taken out. T u of t has Laplace 1 by s square. So it is 1 by t s square. Now let us come here. So this is nothing but here it is delayed with t, here also it is delayed with capital T. So it's a shifted version of t by t u of t. T by t u of t with shifting of capital T. And then hence it can be written as the Laplace transform of t by t u of t is 1 by t square, we obtained it here, into, because of time shift we get e raised to minus st. And then finally this is a shifted version of u of t. So it is 1 by s into e raised to minus st. You can work out on the Laplace transform of this separately. This is done using the time shifting property in Laplace transform. Next what I will do, I will take this as say 1 by s and 1 by s common. So 1 by s into bracket 1 minus e raised to minus st plus I will take 1 by ts square common, 1 by ts square in the bracket 1 minus e raised to minus st. And so what I can write is, so y of s is equal to 1 by s plus 1 by ts square into 1 minus e raised to minus st. Let us simplify this. So this will be what? ts square as the denominator, and this will be 1 for this and st for this, 1 plus st into 1 minus e raised to minus st. So it is obtained for x of s, y of s. Also, what is x of kt? X of kt is u of kt. So x star s is the Laplace transform of x of kt, which is given as summation k equal to 0 to infinity x of kt e raised to minus skt. We have done this in last class. X of kt is 1, so it is equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus skt, and that is equal to 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus st. So gh1 s is equal to, what is y of s? This is y of s, 1 plus st upon ts square into 1 minus e raised to minus st divided by x star s, that is 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus st. So this will go in the numerator, this ts square will come down. So it is equal to 1 plus st divided by s square into 1 minus e raised to minus st whole square, this is ts square, sorry, and then it will be 1 plus st by t in the bracket 1 minus e raised to minus st by s, this s square is taken in the bracket, by s square. So can I say that it is equal to 1 plus st by t into GH0S square. It is done. The point to make is, here there are two poles at origin, which reduces the stability as compared to zero order hole. And that is why in control system, as stability is the most prime factor, generally zero order hole device is preferred for the reconstruction process. So in the last 6 to 7 lectures, we have explored the block diagram of digital control system, different blocks in it, different operations involved, and their detailed analysis. From the next lecture, we will enter into analyzing mode. The analysis tool for the digital control system is Z transform. So in the next lecture, we will take review of Z transform, and in around 4 to 5 classes, we will see properties of Z transform, then some numerical examples, inverse Z transform, its application to solve difference equations. It's enough for now. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you.